Hello everyone, welcome to Sunless Skies, a sort of exploration, narrative-focused game. I kind of view it as being a lot like Cultist Simulator, except for if it were a board game instead of a card game. Either way, let's go ahead and jump in. We will begin a merciful campaign where you can reload if you die. Otherwise, you're forced to continue with the new captain. And we're going to put a little bit of difficulty reduction. We'll play on the middle setting. Nope. Log of Her Majesty's Locomotive the Orphean, March 14th, 1905. Our expedition to the domains of the dead has been eventful. The Orphean is damaged and in grievous need of repairs and supplies. We are returning, in haste, to the Reach, where I hope to make port at New Winchester. May God be with us, for 1,000 deaths await in the sky. Final entry of Captain Amelia Charity Whitlock, written shortly before her death. Alright, here we go. So, this is our locomotive. It's a little quiet. Let me turn it up a little bit. You return to the Reach, an untamed sunless span of the heavens, London's new frontier, a celestial garden run wild. We can dodge by shooting steam to the right and left. Your journey back from the Blue Kingdom was tumultuous. Your locomotive is damaged, and Captain Whitlock badly wounded. This game is text-heavy. I hope I keep my voice. As first officer, the crew look to you. The nearest station is New Winchester. Can you get the Orphean there safely? Got some scavenge. Much to the relief of your stokers, you find a barrel of fuel among the detritus. The Ozymandias. A wreck drifts here, less fortunate even than you. We should scavenge her for repairs, a crewman suggests. The wreck hangs in the sky, pocked with recent gunfire. You and the boarding party don your sky suits, garments of waxed canvas, lined with felt to protect against the cold of the sky. Two of the crew are whispering as they dress. What business did Captain Whitlock have in the Blue Kingdom anyway? Why the devil did we trespass on the districts of the dead? You silence him. Now is not the time. Let's leap across to the deck, to the wreck. You jump. Your stomach lurches with a vertigo as the stars blaze above you and below. The air of the heavens is thin and torn by unpredictable winds. Then your boots hit the running board of the Ozymandias, and your leather-gloved hands fumble for a hold. One of your companions throws you a line, and you lash the two engines together. Only then do the rest of the boarding party follow you. One of them forces open an exterior hatch, and you clamber inside. Her interior is cold, unlit, and whistles with wind. Your party's lamps spread buttery light over the narrow, paneled passages. You make your way toward the hold, stepping over bodies crumpled in the corridor. Unfortunately, your way is blocked. A bulkhead has been mangled inward by a well-aimed barrage. So we can either try to clear the obstruction, or lead on a more precarious path. And these are testing our skills, and we have a 75% chance to succeed at either one. It just depends on which skill we're going with, irons or bales. We'll go try clearing it away. And succeeded. As you strain against the stubborn steel, you remember an event from a year ago. A boiler explosion had trapped an engineer under a tangle of plating and pipework. The captain was first on the scene, you were second. Together you managed to pry the wreckage upwards, enough for you to crawl beneath it while the captain braced the bar across her back. By all means, take your time, she grunted, as you dragged the engineer out. Back in the present, the twisted bulkhead yields. Your companions clear the exposed rubble away. The way is clear. Text-heavy game. You've reached the Ozymandias' hold, a ruin of smashed cargo and spilled supplies. Hopefully, somewhere amidst the detritus, you can find parts to repair the Orpheon and restock your stores. We'll conduct a thorough search. You find enough food and gear to restock your supplies and enough spare parts to make necessary repairs to the Orpheon. The food will need to be thoroughly thawed, of course, but you've eaten worse. "Oh ho!" cries one of the party, prying the lid off a long crate. It holds a cannon still nestled in straw. Another crewman pulls a battered bird cage from a pile of ruined cargo. Within the cage, something winged and furred opens a sullen eye. You examine your finds. You've gained 4 supplies and 15 whole. The Ozymandias emits a long, juddering creak. Your boarding party exchange nervous glances. From the chaos of its hold, you have retrieved repairs and supplies, and discovered some useful equipment, a gun that can be mounted on your locomotive, and an educated bat. Let's go ahead and mount the cannon. The Cotterell and Heathersage Jerusalem fires single shells to a good range, more or less accurately. You order 2 of your party to get it back to your vessel and fit it immediately. Liberate a diffident bat and employ it as a scout. The bat treats its rescue as an inconvenience and immediately begins haggling over pay. You offer to put it back in its damn cage and leave it on the Ozymandias, at which point it becomes more polite. You doubt it will last. Okay, so we got our bat and our Jerusalem. So you might find more fuel in the engine room, or we can try to leave. I'm going to press on. The wreck of the Ozymandias screeches as its metal buckles and tears. You press on through the shuddering corridors, searching frantically for the engine room. So we can send a smaller party ahead, and this will spend hearts. Well, it won't spend the hearts. It'll use our heart skill and give me a 49% chance of success. Or I can go myself and conduct a hasty search using mirrors, 49%, or I can return. I'm going to go myself. And I failed. The engine room is gray with spilled ash and littered with corpses. Little has survived the Ozymandias' ruin. You search fruitlessly for coal, but linger too long. As the wreck is racked with violent tremors, you race back to the Orpheon. With a dying groan, the Ozymandias splits in 2, sending shards of splintered plating spinning into the sky. Several of them bite into the Orpheon, so we lost 10 whole. So we gained 15, we lost 10 again. Too bad. And now we are armed. Press F to send out your scout, which will cost me supplies. So this little bar will go down 10%. 1/10 of a supply. Nope. My scout has discovered something. Disable device, don't bother me with that. The walls of the captain's cabin are lined with a hodgepodge of curios from across the sky. Captain Whitlock lies in bed. Black marks cover her skin like a monstrous brand. When she coughs, coils of acrid smoke pour from her lungs. Ask the doctor what's going on. A word of living fire pursued the Orpheon across the Blue Kingdom. A word of living fire. It caught you just before you passed through the transit relay to the Reach, and set its brand upon the captain. It's burned itself right through her. When I closed the rest of her wounds, I could see the sign is seared into her bones and her organs. Judging from her symptoms, it's on the inside of her lungs, too. The captain leans to one side and vomits a plume of fire into a copper bowl. There's nothing the doctor can do. Approach the bedside. Her mouth is blistered from the blue fires that dance on her tongue. Her hand grips your arm. Her skin is hot as a kettle. Made arrangements. The Orpheon will be yours. Her voice is just a rasp of burned meat breath. But promise, she breaks off to scream a word in a language that was not made for human mouths. When she resumes speaking English, she is weaker, her request little more than a gasp. Promise me one last service. Promise. I will promise. She sinks back, relieved. All in my will, she gasps. Be a better... She breaks off as the sigils burned into her bones flare, glowing cherry red through her flesh and skin. Better captain than I. The effort exhausts her. She sinks back into the scorched pillows in a twisting, frantic fever. Why'd the music all stop? It should keep going. Too bad. Take your leave. You leave the cabin and the scorched stink of its air behind, and return to the bridge. New Winchester is further than you'd like, and the captain hasn't long left. So, in our map, we can see New Winchester's way over here. And this is where we came from. The transit relay to the Blue Kingdom. And we're about to be attacked by a Reach Marauder. Okay, we're a little full on steam. There we go. Our steam bar fills up and then will leave us paralyzed for a few moments. Firing our weapons or dodging consumes it. It's kind of like inverted stamina. The Reach Marauder is defeated. Should we raid the remains or strip it for parts? I think we better strip it because we do need to... we did take a hit from failing that check. So we gained 5 hull. Let's head our way to New Winchester. Bancroft's Forum. I'm going to be mangling the English in all this, I'm sure. The taste of smog, the sound of iron on iron. We are home. New Winchester. You coast into the bustle, the din, the soot, and the steam of Wolvesey Station. It is clogged with other engines, scrappy mining locomotives from Lustrum Way, weathered explorers gleaming with frost, sleek company vessels with bright brass fittings. No sooner have you pulled into the sidings than a brusque station master bustles over. He requests to come aboard. I must speak with your captain, he insists, brandishing a ledger. The usual formalities. Look to the doctor. His face is solemn. His hat is in his hand. He lowers his eyes. The crew exchange bleak, wordless looks. The Orphean itself feels suddenly more empty. The station master looks confused. You inform him that unfortunately Captain Whitlock has just passed. Ah, sorry to hear that. Very sad, very sad. He waits for what he considers an appropriate minute and a half before continuing. Alas, even amidst tragedy, the cogs of bureaucracy must turn. If Captain Whitlock is deceased, the station authority require their answers from the first officer. He dons a set of spectacles and locates his pen. It will be relatively painless. Name, background, purpose of visit, etc. Shall we begin? Long intro to the game. So, create our captain. Today, London lies between the stars. Her new empire unfolds across the heavens. But 10 years ago, before the Northern Gate was opened, before the renewed Empress led her people into the skies, it lay in a vast cavern far beneath the earth. Deep, dark, marvelous. Who were you then? So, these are all just basically which stats we're going to start out with a bonus to. So high veils, high iron, high hearts, mirrors. High hearts, iron, mirrors, veils. I'm thinking I'm going to be a priest. I like that. Yeah. I'm feeling, my graveyard keeper ways. And wait. So as a priest, we have high hearts. So you are a priest. You preached the word and brought the needs of the world before the church in intercession. But besides God Almighty, to whom did you answer? So we can increase our secondary stat mirrors, veils, or iron. And each one is going to be affiliating me with different things. The establishment, with villainy, or with Bohemia. I'm not inclined to go with villainy. My parishioners or a bright-eyed sequencer? I'm thinking I'm going to go for establishment. Yeah. Choose an ambition. What does winning mean to you? And of course, the truth is the one you want, but this is a demanding ambition, best played by a lineage that has already completed wealth or fame. I don't care much about fame, but I want the money. You want a comfortable retirement, and by comfortable, you mean extravagant. Many have made their fortunes out among the stars. Many more have failed, broken, and lost in the drifting night. Will you be different? So our goal is to gather a substantial retirement fund, acquire lodgings, and retire. And, well, maybe that's kind of... Is that really appropriate for a priest? I don't know. How do we want to look? I like it. I like that a lot. And my name is going to be the Reverend Bell. I don't really like Bell. Reverend Young. That's a great hat and a nice beard. Let's go ahead. Okay, so we are hearts, mirrors, and we're going for wealth. So we have 25 hearts, an extra 7 bonus mirrors, and then base veils and strength iron. Three weeks have passed. This morning, Captain Whitlock received a simple memorial service. Her body was consigned to a necropolis train, bound for the serene mausoleum. Now you sit with a handful of her relatives in the threadbare offices of her solicitors. A methodical notary is reading her will. The captain was wealthy once, but squandered her capital on mysterious expenses before her expedition to the Blue Kingdom. Let's listen. In a final codicil, the notary announces, Captain Whitlock confirmed that possession of the Orpheum was to pass to its first officer. He peers at you with dry, gray eyes. This includes a certain black box contained in the Orpheum's hold. Captain Whitlock's final request was that, at the time of your choosing, you transport said box to an address in London. He hands you an address card, and deposit it there. You are not to look inside. She gave no explanation. And that's it, you're captain. The Orpheum is yours. So, you can either investigate the black box at New Winchester. You could take it to London, or you could sell it and be done. And I gained some money. Alright, so now we're actually in the game. We are in New Winchester. We have a series of rooms, sort of, areas that we can explore. We can look at different shops. Let's just go ahead and explore the city. The smoggy, clanking, singing, stamping, thronging, frantic heart of the Reach. An ever-expanding port of soot-smudged glass and bright steel, spilling across a drifting, mist-wrapped archipelago. Its factories thunder, its engine sheds ring with hammers and hiss with steam. Locomotives chug into sidings for repair, or flare across the sky and away into the high wilderness. Teach me about trading. A porter at the station advised you to visit the nearby pub, the Promise of Days, and talk to the seasoned captains there. They keep their ears to the ground. They'll know about an opportunity or two. So now we have the possibility of visiting the Promise of Days. Before we do that, let's ask about the war. The slow-burning war for the Reach forms the backdrop to daily life in New Winchester. Citizens wishing to keep up with developments in the war turn to the New Gazette. It is, famously, the only newspaper worth reading in New Winchester, as well as the only paper that hasn't bankrupted itself. Its quality speaks for itself. So what about What's the current political situation? The Assembly runs New Winchester from Victory Hall and seeks to strengthen its hand in the Reach. London's proxy, the Windward Company, maintained a considerable presence in the Reach. New Winchester is still neutral ground. Tensions are mounting. Anything about me? Your name does not appear in any of the tackety-focused reporting on the war. You're not worthy of comment. There's no mention of you among the stories about the Stovepipes' recent fortunes. You're not of interest to them, because we haven't done anything yet. And nothing is a recent development. So never mind. Let's go back to explore the city and visit the Promise of Days. Old pistons gleam on the walls. The shelves are crowded with mementos from across the sky. The clientele raise their voices to be heard above the comforting clamor of the adjacent engine yards. You may find helpful advice here. So because we have yet to make their acquaintance, that's our status, we can introduce ourselves. If we had made their acquaintance, we'd be able to collect this, to click on this, but we can't. This is not allowable. Not a option. We could just leave. Introduce ourselves. 4 are gathered at their usual table. The masked citizen, a libertine, polymath, and pioneer of the neo-nocturnal artistic school. The bedeviled didact, a scholar haunted by his discovery. The plucky baroness, explorer, collector, philatelist? I don't know what that is. And Spatchcocker Meg, who hunts monsters. Of course, everything out here is jolly dangerous, says the Baroness. Few risk the skies, so news of distant ports is valuable. Collect port reports from the places you visit, and deliver them to Victory Hall or Company House. The more you turn in at once, the more they'll pay. Oh, that's interesting. The more you turn in at once. Okay. Look for other opportunities on the way, advises the masked citizen. Passengers who want transport, rich men in need of bloody work, etc. So how do I make money from trade? Ah, the didact says, fiddling with his innumerable talismans, an essential topic. Meg slides you a stool, and the captains shuffle around to make room. The masked citizen buys you a drink of their own invention. It is violet and foggy. The plucky baroness gives you a brisk, encouraging grin. How can you buy and sell goods? You can sell practically anything at a big trade hub like New Winchester. If you want to buy, you need to travel to more distant ports. Each specializes in a particular export. Meg spits chewing tobacco onto the floor. No money in buying on market prices and selling at them, though. You want to look for bargains or prospects of people offering better money. Buy cheap, sell dear. So this is the way the system works. It's not like Patrician or like Port Royale, where it's like there's a demand and supply sort of thing. Instead, there are opportunities where you can everything that you just buy at a normal price is always at the same price, but you have a chance occasionally to buy a limited number of goods for a lot cheaper, and then you can sell them at the standard price, or you can wait till an opportunity comes up to sell them at a much more expensive price. So they don't want you just to set up like a simple transport, a simple trade, a trade route. It doesn't work that way. Instead, you have to actually look for opportunities. And yeah, it kind of gates the ability to acquire money. Anyway, tell me about prospects. The masked citizen sips their drink. The biggest port in each region has a bazaar where captains do business. There you'll learn of people at other ports prepared to pay over the odds for a commodity. When you accept the commission for a prospect, it is yours. No other captain will pursue it. It's all fantastically civilized. Their smile is droll. You'll have to source the goods yourself. Of course, says the bedazzled didact. Find a port that exports them. The client will want a certain amount. You can supply some or all of it, but if you provide all they need, they may furnish you with an additional reward. Do you know of a good prospect available? The host at Magdalen's needs an urgent delivery of seeds, paying a pretty penny, too. If I were you, I'd get to the bazaar straight away. Put my mark against it. The broker in Port Avon is selling cheap seeds. Chirpy chap, God knows why. His face looks like it's been pushed through a mangle. An opportunity. So Port Avon is to the southwest, and Magdalen's is to the west. And that's all randomized, of course. The maps are random every time you begin the game. So accept this prospect from the bazaar, go southwest to Port Avon, and then go north from there to Magdalen's. Tell me about bargains. Spatchcocker Meg wipes beer foam from her lip. Nowhere this busy. Deals are snapped up too fast here. Visit the bazaars at quiet ports. Can find all sorts, limited supply, mind. A bargain won't hang about forever, though. So don't hang about. If you've space in your hold, snap them up. You can always sell them at a major port for an adequate return. So bargains are where we can buy something cheap. Opportunities, or what did they call it? I don't remember. Prospects are where you can sell something to them for expensive. And you can either buy normal or you can buy cheap and sell normal and sell expensive. How do you expand the prospects and bargains available to you? Meg laughs, a noise like a sneeze crossed with a ricochet. What a description. It ain't who you is, it's who you know, innit? Nepotism. She taps her broken nose. Quite, the mass citizen remarks. The wider your circles, the more advantageous the opportunities that will present themselves. A wise captain makes the most of them. As your captain increases in level, your affiliations increase. Academe, Bohemia, Establishment, and Villainy. Right now, we are Establishment. So they will unlock new, more rewarding bargains and prospects. Affiliations will allow your captain to inherit certain resources. But we're not going to do that very much. Probably not until we win, because if we die, we can always just reload. We're playing on a merciful campaign. If you were doing, hardcore mode, building up affiliations would let you will stuff on to your inheritor. That's it here. Yeah. So let's do what they said. We'll go to the bazaar, and we'll grab this seeds from Magdalen's. And Magdalen's, again, is west of New Winchester. Now, there's also a prospect flowers for Titania, which is to the east. Now, we're not going to be able to go that direction in a while, but we might as well grab this. And we'll keep an eye on verdant seeds. So, actually, it's the same thing. So, they both just want seeds. So, 8 seeds we have prospects for. That's not what I wanted to do. Keep on exploring. Was there anything more here? No. Recruit the incautious driver. I specialize in test driving, but I'm looking for something quieter. The driver indicates a crashed engine still smoking. Like that, without the screaming. Allow him to join your crew? This will get you a chief engineer who will increase your iron by 6. And give me more establishment affiliation. Sure. And how much is it going to cost? 20. Oh. Oh no, I need 20, and I have 100. So he's going to cost 20 for me. Yeah. The driver board's eager to get started. I recently parted ways with the Windward Company, they explained. Personally, I think a crash a week isn't so bad. They disagreed. And they're going to be the one driving for us now. So we can go ahead and say, have him equipped. We'll eventually have several potential people that we can pick from each position. He's the only one we have right now, so we'll just leave it alone. Plus 2 hearts, plus 6 iron. Can you see our profile? Yeah. So now we're at 16 iron and 27 hearts. In a way, it might be better to just keep on pushing a couple of these up. Then we'll, if we have a choice between 2 different things, they'll always be a good choice and a bad choice rather than 2 medium choices. I don't know. We'll see. I think we'll maybe raise all of these slowly a bit by bit, but focused on Veils and Hearts. I don't know. And we can see all the stuff we got. So we have 2 affiliation with the establishment. We are dominant in the reach is 2. That's an event. I don't know what that means. The Tackities are at 25. The Stovepipes are at 25. So that's the natives and London's people. The strength of the sun is at 75. And I believe some say the clockwork sun was brighter once, but they say it quietly and lie about it afterwards. This is just time, I think. So slowly the strength of the sun's going to diminish. And that indicates time going by. Our reputation with both of these is even, 50%. And my soul is clear. Soul is fully transparent, no swirls, no clouding, no personality. Says the presiding Delus of the Carillion Compendium. Carillon? Carillion? I don't know how to say that. Carillon. Carillon! And my soul is stained. My soul appears damaged and scorched. Reckless, dangerous, and figuratively curious. I wonder how we got these. Maybe that was just part of the intro? I don't know. In our ship, where again we're at 25 out of 30 health, we have 8 of 10 crew. Our fuel efficiency is 1.79, whatever that means. We have a Jerusalem and the Bat and our engine, and not much else. A bit of fuel, a bit of supplies, and we have these 2 siege requests, and only 80. We only can hold up to 12 things at once, so even if we do get 8 seeds, we won't be able to hold all of them at the same time. We have that black box that Captain Whitlock gave us, and we have some people in our... No. This is telling me about my train, and my train has to have at least 6 people manning it. We have 8, so we're good. Our journal will tell us about our quest log, basically. So they want me to do this trading, they want me to deal with the box, and my overall goal is my wealth, and then our officers, which we just talked about. Okay, let's continue looking through New Winchester. An opportunity, the Fastidious Inspector. Excuse me, Captain. A woman pushes through the crowds toward you. She is short and square-shouldered, in a neat black suit and polished shoes. She shows you the case of her pocket watch. It is embossed with the crown and hourglass of London's horological office, the body responsible for ensuring time is consistent across the empire. I'm hoping to book passage to Port Prosper, she says. I can, of course, pay. Sure. Thank you. The locomotive I was on broke down following a boiler rupture. The chief engineer's fault, I suspect. A gentleman fonder of brandy than of diligence. Here, an initial sum to seal our bargain. Prosper is to the northwest. Note, there's no such thing as north, south, east, or indeed west out here. Instead, London cartographers picked 4 brighter, more reliable stars, visible from the Empress's new palace, and named them north, east, south, and west. Londoners value familiarity. So we gain 50 sovereigns. We are now transporting the Fastidious Inspector, and the event the Fastidious Inspector has joined your engine has occurred. Let's look at the box. Captain Whitlock left it to you in the hold of the Orphean. Her will described it only as a black box, a description you consider to be an unhelpful understatement. It is a casket of black basalt, longer than you are tall, unadorned, with a single small recess that contains a keyhole. The thing must weigh almost a ton. It stands upright in a corner of the hold, where the crew have pushed it out of the way. So we have a lot of stuff we can do with this. Let's just start walking through them. Consider what to do with it. The last request was to be transported to London. Or we could sell it. Where'd you get the box? Captain Whitlock had it brought on board just before your ill-fated expedition to the Blue Kingdom. It was empty then. You know because you saw the lid and the box carried on board separately and assembled in the hold. It's not empty now. It is sealed and even heavier than before. But you left for the Blue Kingdom shortly after the box was delivered and made no stops on the way. So whatever is inside the box now, Captain Whitlock found in the Blue Kingdom. Let's look at it. There are no carvings or inscriptions on it. The join where the lid meets the body is too thin to admit even a knife blade. There are no holes by which light or air might find their way in. It is impossible to see inside without opening it. Even the keyhole has been engineered in such a way as to prevent peeking. The recess with the keyhole, though, as far as you can determine, that is a more recent addition to the box. The stone has been drilled and chiseled away to create space for a modern metal lock. So we could sell it as a curiosity. Without knowing what's inside, you won't get much for the box, and I have this available because I don't know what the box contains. So I don't want to do this because, of course, that would be bad. We can consult with an academic if we had an uncanny specimen and an affiliation with the academy. Academe? Whatever. We could find someone who could open it from you among your villainous associates if we had 200 sovereigns and affiliation with villainy. We can pick the lock ourselves if we have veils and a savage secret. We could detonate the lock with a modest explosive with a 33% chance of success if we had a carefully packed crate of munitions. We have none of those things, so we will leave it alone. We can repair our locomotive. This will cost 3 sovereigns per hull point. We are at, we're -5 right now. Yeah. So that would be 15. I think I'm not going to right now. I think we'll just hope that we can survive without it. Maybe we'll kill another ship and be able to steal its hull. We could hire more crew, but again, I don't want to spend the money. And my ambition wealth, I could, if I had 5,000 sovereigns, purchase the governor's manor. Perhaps not. Alright, let's just look around a bit. So this is where we could buy additional things to put on our ship, like an additional cargo bay, but that costs 500 and we don't have enough money for it. Someday. Yeah, someday. Not today. Victoria Market, all we can do buy here is fuel and supplies. We have 2 and 4. Why don't we go ahead and just even that out? That would bring us down to 90. Let's not do it too much. Let's bring it just 1. I think, well, just 1. Just 1. So now we're 3 and 4. We could sell everything, and this gives you a rough idea of the prices. So most things are in this 50 to 150 range, and then there's a few things that are very expensive, like a selection of immaculate souls. But we don't have anything right now, and we don't have access to a bank, so forget that. The engine yard, where we could actually buy a better engine, but it would cost 1,500. It would lose some slots, so right now most of our slots are empty. But, you know, we gotta keep an eye out for what we want. There's an immediate upgrade for 1,500. There's a more expensive upgrade for 35 in 2 different directions. So this one is maybe a bit more combat focused. This is more trade focused. And then there's a really expensive one for 20,000. Excuse me. I think we're done here. I think we are out of stories. Let's go to the southwest, right? That's what I said. Look for New Avon to the southwest. So 40 minutes into the game, we're actually going to begin doing stuff. So this is our experience bar right here. And as we go around, we're going to find named areas. And each one will give us some experience points. We will also get some for killing things, but not as much. It's mostly about exploration. The Scamp's narrow, 57 experience gained. Oh, here's another ship. What are you? Oh. We have some tackety scouts. Should we kill them? I'm for it. We need to take one out fast, or we'll get overwhelmed. Yeah, that one's almost done. Come on, just die. Okay, it was about to warn us. Let's loot. Search the hold, or only a 33% chance to potentially risk a crew and for getting fuel and supplies. Search the hold. A faintly luminescent cage. We gained a vision of the heavens. A silver idol rests inside. 4 wings extend from its hunched shoulders, made from moonstone, to amplify the light of the stars. Okay. Well, we just pinned ourselves against a rock, so maybe I'm not that good at this game. Oh dear. Oh, look at that hit. I am getting myself killed. One more hit will do it. We need to, survive to get that hit. Gotcha. And we went up a level too. So, a moment of reflection. Choose a facet. Grow stronger. I'm thinking I want to push... Well, let's see what we can do. We can push up one of ours... We can push up iron and then have a choice of veils or hearts. Or we could do any one of these. A primary stat and then a choice. I think I want to push up my mirrors and iron most. So is there a way to do that? That's heart. Iron and mirrors. There. Scarred. You came close to death that day. It left its mark. What was it that nearly killed you? So, in an attempt on my life, there's a bullet scar beside my heart. I have learned since to be more judicious in my choice of friends. Now we're a little bit stronger. Our hull is having some troubles, though. So again, search the hold. And we found, this time, another vision of the heavens. Okay. Let's keep going. The combat in this game is somewhat uninspiring, but that's okay. It's not really about the combat, it's about the stories. And the writing. I think the writing in this game is really good. Here, let's send our bat out. Find some stuff for us, please, bat. Yep, there's Port Avon, hopefully. Or it could be Magdalen's. It's gotta be one of the two. Yeah, we should be hugging a wall so that we can get it all mapped. And potentially see things. A distant nebula shines on this place, as light, as mellow as... Oh! Grim news, your last battle resulted in a number of injuries among your crew. Your medical bay is crowded. The prognoses aren't good. So, I have a steady hand, some education, perhaps it'll be enough. A 1/3 chance to tend them. Hope for the best, 30% chance just, to hope. And we could spend supplies to get some medicine and help save our crew. I'm going to spend some supplies. 2. Oh, I needed 2. The doctor plunders your supplies, swaddled in bandages, carefully disinfected and coaxed with medicinal brandy. The injured crew begin to recover. But 2 supplies, we need to be careful of that. And I can't explore this because I need to have assaying, and I don't. Yeah, we're missing the thing. Let's get back up north. A stopped clock. The Fastidious Inspector approaches you in the galley. Captain, good day. I noticed your ship's clock has stopped. Perhaps you permit me to repair it. She has a little case of tools and a hopeful expression. Of course. She gives a grateful flicker of a smile and sets to work. Soon she has the back off the clock and has spread tiny cogs across the galley table. Obscure horological tools gleam brassily among them. Everything has a place. I appreciate the opportunity to keep myself busy. Staring too long at the stars is harmful to the temperament. The Fastidious Inspector has a round face, brown eyes, and short, dark hair. She gives the impression of being perpetually busy. So, what are your duties? She sniffs. It is of fundamental importance that 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in one corner of the Empire occurs at the same time as 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in the opposite corner. How is an empire to function if it can't agree what day it is? Unfortunately, the process is complicated by the fact that time is less reliable than it was. The hours trade has seen to that. Let's compliment her skills. Her hands are deft and sure. She polishes, she cleans, she reassembles. Thank you, she says. It's possible she's pleased. It's hard to tell. Tell me about London. London sits in her coat of smog. Courtiers squabble at the foot of the throne of hours, hoping to receive endowments of years. Meanwhile, hard-working civil servants labor to ensure everything runs as it should. Was there a touch of archness there? All as normal. I miss her, though. There is no city like London in all the skies, and Albion is very different from the Reach, much more civilized. Tell me about the Reach. It has an uncouth splendor, but I miss Albion and the steady light of the clockwork sun. These sunless reaches are so misty and quiet. She pauses, but critical. The territories here are rich with raw hours, and enough vegetation grows in them to feed the whole of London, even if some of it is a dubious shape. Tell me about the hours trade. Oh, hours have much more uses than that. We use them to increase the efficiency of work worlds, to speed journeys to distant regions, to resolve overcrowding in prisons. It does make my life more difficult when time knots and stretches like wool on the loom. More difficult, but more vital. Her Majesty seized a great trove of them when she assumed the throne of hours. And now even more have been found in the Reach. Miners dig them from the ground. She looks momentarily wistful. I hope someday to retire with a modest pension of years myself, to prolong the better part of my retirement. Have I done... which one have I not? They change a little bit. So ask about the war. There are those who feel that London is a long way away, and that they do a better job of governing themselves. The frontier attracts independent spirits. We call them tackities for the hobnail boots that are so practical out here. London, unsurprisingly, disagrees. The Windward Company earnestly represents Her Majesty's interests in the region. Sometimes very earnestly indeed. The tackities call London's loyalists stovepipes. For our hats, I suppose. She avoids looking at you. And you, Captain? Where do your sympathies lie? I remember my heritage and the queen who led me to the skies. I stand with London. Glad to hear it. There was something else. I thought. Or am I wrong? Nope, I think we might have got them all. Okay, good evening. Port Avon. And the Nowhere Inn. Behold, a ruin of giants. Gargantuan blocks jigsawed together, furred with moss and whispering with orchards. A bucolic village nestles amongst them. Smoke coils daintily from the chimneys. A leisurely game of cricket unfolds on the village green. An oily-faced, black-haired girl waves your locomotive into position. Welcome to Port Avon, she calls as you disembark. A rich knot of scents greets you. Leaves and wood smoke, enriched by an infrequent but pungent intrusion of goat. Port Avon welcomes new visitors, but your novelty will wear off the more time you spend there. When you visit, you may need to bring something to keep them friendly. Our welcome is 3. So exploring will wear down your welcome. Here you can restore it, but first of all, before we do anything else, let's go ahead and deal with this. So we can buy seeds for 25. Normally they sell for 50. We're going to get some cheap seeds. And new bargains will come available in 30 days, but that's not our problem now. If we wanted to buy more seeds, we cannot. We can buy more supplies though. So that event cost us 80 gold, 80 sovereigns, because that's a shame, because of the 2 supplies. Well, let's see what else we can do before we buy stuff. Okay, at the dock. Recruit a repentant devil. He's looking for a passage. He claims to be useful. He doesn't ask where you're headed. Unfortunately, this needs 100 sovereigns, and we only have 35. So, another time. The port itself. Let's go ahead and write a port report, because we don't have one, and we are welcome here. Were it not for talk of smugglers and sky beasts, you could easily confuse this place for a village on the world you left behind. It's quite peaceful, apart from some fuss over a newspaper delivery. The villagers frown and change the subject when you ask about it. So, share exotic gossip, which will increase my welcome. Or, if I had exotic gossip, salon stewed gossip. Or I could bring tea, and that would increase my welcome. That's interesting. Unlocked when Port Avon's character is preserved like a fly in amber. I wonder, eventually maybe we're going to ruin Port Avon? And this won't work anymore? Or the character will change? I don't know. So, let's check the green. A golden nebula scintillates above Port Avon's apple trees, allotments, eel fishers, and steepled church. Here you may, if you choose, immerse yourself in the village's quaint rhythms. And we have the auroral sommelier? Sommelier? I don't know how to say that word. Someone has grafted brass wheels to the carcass of an old armoire and impaled its top with a jaunty, damasked umbrella. A man stands behind it, flesh and finery, the colors of the dawn, shepherding customers through their sampling of wines. Sweet wines, sour wines, subtle wines, and sinful. Spirits of every vintage, save, of course, the Hesperidian cider. He gives a small, sad laugh. I know because I looked. This is the only place with real apples. But even here, that cider eludes me. He beckons you with a gloved hand. Tell me about the Hesperidian cider. Come here, come close and listen, you effervescent thing. I have a story. An associate of mine, he once gave me a sip of it, one golden drop to place under my tongue, and my life was changed. A carnivorous pleasure steeps in his voice as he speaks. I went back to the store immediately, of course, but the price was too much. And then eventually the dreams drained away, and now I'm here, serving wine to drunks. His laughter is black and bitter, but the auroral sommelier gives you the address nonetheless, just in case. If you decide to risk the same grief, savor it for me. So now we have a new quest. Searching for Hesperidian cider. In London. So, off a ways. The village green, the heart of the village, surrounded by the orchards of real apple trees that were shipped through the avid horizons as seeds. Actions here will wear out your welcome. An endowment of years from her renewed majesty grew them to swift maturity. Oh, okay. So take a relaxing stroll around the village, or watch a cricket match. Both of these are going to wear out my welcome, so... Unlocked when heirs of Port Avon as villagers doze in soft light, newspapers over their faces. I thought we said it was something else. Wait a minute, what was it? When it's preserved like a fly in amber. No, so this is character, and that was heirs of. Okay, so there's some Port Avon event that we haven't achieved yet. Let's check out the Nowhere Inn. Bothridge's A Tour of Heavens describes the Port Avon's single public house as a welcome respite, justly famed for its authentic old earth cider. The locals can be welcoming for a while. You may be able to recruit more crew here. Actions wear out our welcome. Port Avon's first public house stands amidst the nodding copse of apple trees. Inside, brass gleams cozily on the beams. Window latches, doorknobs, and other fittings retrieved from the first locomotives that carried people here. A great polished wheel hangs on one wall. We can read a work of fiction. A lot of these, I think, are going to be dealing with terror. And our terror is at 0. As we encounter more scary things in the world, we're going to have to spend money and stuff to get rid of our terror. Appreciate an amount of cider. It's an iron test, and we only have a 36% chance, so probably not a good thing to do. Speak to a short-sighted cryptozoologist. She perches on a stool in the corner, staring at a map of the Reach. A tiny figure weighed down by 2 backpacks and a heavy duffel coat looks through thick glasses at her map, and then up at you. Excuse me, I need passage. I don't suppose you could help me. I'm on the trail of unusual beasts. I can pay you for your time. Where are you going? Hybris, beams the short-sighted cryptozoologist. She leans in conspiratorially, knocking over every glass on the table. They say there's a colony of singing blemigans out there. You know, little mushrooms with teeth. I'm a huge fan of their poetry. I'd love to hear what they sing about. You've agreed to escort her. Okay. The short-sighted cryptozoologist almost boarded someone else's locomotive. A kindly stoker guided her the right way onto yours. Intercede in a mushroomy matter. The pub is out of scrumpy. The barman blames a creature, a cross between a mushroom and a jellyfish. It sways in its seat at the bar. Who does this creature belong to? Bellows a man, fuchsia with rage. The Blemiggen he points at is a grizzled member of its species, most of whom were left behind in the Neath. The fuchsia gentleman roars in fury. Between bellows the truth emerges. The Blemiggen is no one's pet, and far worse, no one will admit responsibility for its tab. The Blemiggen is unconcerned with the tumult. It nods its cap at you with grim respect, then flops a tendril into a mug of stout. It stares bleakly through the window. So the creature, we can just leave, or we can pay money, 50 sovereigns, which we don't have, which will give me a mascot, which is like another officer. But I don't have it, so too bad. And let's head upstairs. Thick cigar smoke curls through the air, filling this private chamber with premium-grade fog. Bloated gentlemen in well-worn military uniforms sit at mahogany tables, sipping port. They chunter of the old... What's chunter? Chat? Some sort of... Anyway, they chunter of the old days and how very much better they were. Let's request some membership. A stout veteran gives you a polite once-over. I suppose we could count it as an application. Of course, membership is not a member of mere money, no. He directs your attention to the trophies. Most are old and musty. Neath creatures, deer, foxes, a bear, all hunted in the member's now long-distant youth. Perhaps if you could help decorate our walls with some impressive local fauna, we could talk matters of first payment and then membership. We could hunt the beasts ourselves, we will, by thunder we will. But the fire is so warm, and there's port left in the bottle. So gather trophies, bring a cantankerous trophy, a chorister trophy, and a scribe spinster trophy. Okay. And I don't have any of these, so. And that's it here? Or is there something else? Nope. The Cyclopean Ruins. What palace was this? What giant king made his home here? And why did he abandon the vast stores of souls that locals still quarry from beneath the stones? Perhaps you might risk a furtive excavation of your own. Actions here without your welcome? Not one of the looming stones is quite square, yet they all slot together immaculately. What were these ruins? Even their bones are tall and stately as the finest cathedrals of old France. What purpose did they serve in the past, plentiful days, when their sun still shone? So we could do a nocturnal expedition, though we have a very low chance of that working. Or we could enjoy the picturesque surroundings. How they soar, how tragic. And this will give me a 64% chance of gaining a vision of the heavens. We already have 2 of those. And apparently this relies on all being well. Alright, let's go back to the port. The green. Green. Yeah. We could take a relaxing stroll. My terror remains unchanged. Yeah, there's no need to do that because it's a terror thing. Never mind. We could attend a service at the church. Again, let's not bother with that until our terror is up a bit. I think we need to buy some supplies. I think that... Oh, I can't afford it. Never mind. Let's hope our supplies last. Okay. So, we needed to find Magdalene, which must be over here somewhere. To deliver our seeds. Oh. It's a cantankerous. Don't you run away. The cantankerous are lumbering, half-fossilized isopods that will attack anything they disapprove of. Given that they are very ancient and murderously grumpy, that means almost everything. The largest chunk of the cantankerous still lives. They can be slow to die. Stubbornness, perhaps, or their sluggish journey of signals along their calcified nerves. So we can get that trophy. We could gain experience, a sky story, and learn more about them. We could attempt to get money from it. We can do nothing. If we had butchery, we could get money. We could get supplies. Or if we don't have butchery, and I don't know. You may only choose this if you're in the process of starving, which we are not. But that would be a way for us to avoid starving to death. I think we'll just get our trophy. We could just go turn it in right now, but I think we'll come back when we have the other ones. Oh, another one. Come on, where are you? I don't want it to charge. Oh, there we go. Close one! It almost charged us. Oh, this one has less options. So we have 48% chance to potentially find an uncanny specimen, or we can just disperse it and lose terror. Our terror is only at 1%. Let's look for a specimen. Failure. And we lost a hole. Well, we did get some money. That's good. Our hole is looking a little grim, though. At 1/3. We did not do very well on that first combat encounter. Am I going the right way? Like, I don't know. Let's send out our bat. I'm a little worried about it because it does take 10% of our food. Something up there. Hopefully this curves around. But I don't think it's going to. Yeah, I think we need to go back this way. Let's go back this way and up around. Eventually we'll have this place all nicely mapped out. But, and there probably is a way where you go, like, all the way around and up like that, but not for us to do it this time. When we're more secure on our supplies and stuff. All we're doing is wasting some terror and some fuel and supplies. Old stones and forgotten ruins. Probably that it's good that we stay closer to New Winchester. For now. Yeah, back when New Winchester's back this way. Is this a thing I can learn the name of? Yes, Hodge's Crucible. That's good. Get us some experience. Oh, maybe we get some more salvage? We got something. A crate of nostalgic crockery. Okay. Well, that's not something immediately of value. I'm sure we can sell it, you know, for not nothing, and we got it for free, so. So there's another ship right here. The Matala. The wreck gleams with frost. Signal the wreck. 40% chance of success. Or mourn the dead. You know, I'm betting that this might lose us a crewman if this fails, so I'm not going to do it. Mourn the dead. My terror has fallen a little bit. And we're being attacked. Oh my. His armament seems a little better than ours. I wish I could do what they're doing, like accelerate backwards. I guess I could a little bit, but it's not at the speed that they are. There we go. You approach the buckled wreckage poised to plunder the plunderers. To the victor the spoils. The crew of the Marauder lie dead in the corridor, killed not by your guns, but knives and small arms fire. The only survivor is the captain, locked in the brig with a bottle of brandy. Chalk eyes stare back from every wall. When you ran out of chalk, he began scraping them in with his fingernails. Little remains of them but bloodied stumps. Seen this before, Captain, says a crew member grasping your arm. Sky madness. Magdalens can treat it if it can be bothered to take them, poor sod. This will begin a short quest. Sure, we'll bring him on board. We're going to Magdalene's anyway. The crew wrap the sky-maddened captain in blankets, then secure them tightly with belts. It takes 4 to transport him safely to your locomotive. He might not be happy, restrained, but it should keep him from harm until you get him to Magdalene's. Magdalene's is to the west of New Winchester. You have a moment to see whether there's anything of worth on his locomotive before abandoning it to the wilderness. We gained a tale of terror, and we now have the event, the Sky-Maddened Captain. Ooh, we definitely need to strip the engine for materials. We need hull. Look at that, brought us all the way back up to 21. 11 hull, doubled our health. Okay, we need to find Magdalene's though. It should be out here somewhere. I'm worried about sending my bat out again. I mean, if we can find it, then sure, but I don't know. Hopefully we can buy some supplies there. Hopefully it's not up this way. Come on, game, be nice. Okay, bat. Yes, it's right in front of us. I wasted some supplies. Sounds like there's a fight going on. But that's not our problem. A new port! More chance to talk. Magdalene's is the closest thing many skyfarers have to a home. It offers services to alleviate the strain of a life spent too close to the stars. Before we deal into the stories, let's deal with the Bazaar first. So we'll go ahead and sell our seeds for 80. We bought them for 25, so we made some nice profit. But now we can't do it again. It's not going to be available for a while, or a new random one will appear in 30 days or whatever. And by completing the quest, we also gained an additional 100 sovereigns and some experience. Now, you are selling some cheap, carefully packed crate of munitions. I'll take them for only 40. Buy and sell and all that. Buy cheap. And can I buy supplies from you? I can. Good. Let's double up, so we'll be 2-2. Anything else? I could buy souls here, a jumble of undistinguished souls. But I don't need that. I need, what's it? Seeds. And I can't sell anything else here besides excess fuel and supplies for half price. Never mind. Let's go ahead and play with some stories. So, Magdalene's House of Small Comfort. The Oneric Chambers treat your nightmares. We don't have any nightmares, though. Untroubled. And the Solace Chambers treat your terror. We don't have any terror. Our terror is at 0%. So let's just go talk to Magdalene. Or at Magdalene's. The glass spires of Magdalene's pierce the clouds like swords. Shadowed figures can be seen moving through gleaming corridors, their identities obscured by the hued glass. Crowds of skyfarers, ministry officials, and merchants mill about the forecourt, in varying degrees of distress. All watch the clock set in the great clock tower, awaiting for their appointed hour. We can deliver the sky-maddened captain, where you can get some help. Sure. The nurses bring a stretcher to carry the sky-maddened captain from your train. He'll receive the care of Magdalen's finest. At least, Magdalen's finest with a sense of charity, given that he has nothing on him to pay for their ministrations. And we gained another vision of the heavens, and gained some experience, but nothing to do with our tear. Hopefully we can find a way to, make some bank from our visions of the heavens. Or do something with them, at least. Okay, so a meeting with the amenable host, speak with an attendant, or write a port report. Let's get the report first of all. Magdalen's is abuzz with activity. Barely has the clock chimed, then a clamor goes up at the front desk. Guests rushing to and from appointments. Lord Something was seen in conversation with the amenable host. The East Wing was closed for general access all day. A certain distinguished admiral was seen with the second-in-command entering one of the chambers of regret. Several guests succumbed to an excess of sentimentality and were forcibly removed. Let's meet with the amenable host. An attendant escorts you through the dazzling violet corridors. The host's red door is always open. The attendant leaves you just as the clock begins to chime. The amenable host reclines on a couch of crushed velvet, a goblet of sparkling wine in his long fingers. Somewhere in the tower above him, the great clock ticks away. As a policy, the host's atrium is always open to guests. He is available to hear opinions, friendly criticism, and suggestions. Today he has a headache. So a conversation, or we can listen to his request. His voice is soft and sibilant, like butter melting in candlelight. A guest has become rather too attached to a particular attendant. He always requests the same attendant appear in the exact same guise. The amenable host's lip curls in distaste. He reiterates the aim of Magdalen's, a place of healing and respite. It was not meant to feed obsession or self-indulgent self-loathing. This guest brings sickness. I would have him purged. I have a dossier on our guest if you're interested in helping. So now we have a new quest. We have to talk about a difficult guest. Take the lachrymose guest's dossier. The amenable host smiles indulgently. I think that shouldn't be possessive, but whatever. I'm so glad you want to help. He produces a thin sliver of pages and passes them to you. I'd recommend taking on the role of one of our attendants. That way you'd be playing the role of someone significant to him. The amenable host sighs, reaching for his goblet. He knows all of our attendants by voice now. Someone new is needed. Oh, it just went away. Okay, let's go back. Okay, now we have a new option here. Deal with the lachrymose guest. He stands on the threshold of the treatment chambers, his hands trembling. The attendants on duty have been informed about your involvement. How do you plan to deal with him? A treatment chamber has been emptied for you should you wish to adopt a guise from his past. Alternatively, he is standing right there. He does not seem to have noticed you, his eyes instead boring through the doors of the treatment rooms. So approach this directly. Disguise yourself as his mother, or disguise yourself as his lover. I mean... I'm not entirely sure what we're being asked to do, to get rid of him, basically. I can't help but think that approaching this directly would just make him angry. Disguising himself as his mother, or as his lover. That just seems mean. Like, what if his mom's dead? Like, and suddenly you show up as in the guise of his mom. That seems mean. Let's go with disguising as his lover. The attendant daubs your lips the correct shade and finishes coloring your eyes. He likes them to be jovial. He cannot bear him to be sad. This proves correct when the lachrymose guest appears. You weep, you lie, you wheedle. You are unhappy here doing this. By the end, you are both in tears. Neither of you will be returning here again, here as you are. I guess that's it. Okay, let's go back to the host. An attendant escorts you through the dazzling violet corridors. The host's red door. Oh yeah, we already read that. I need to stop rereading things that have already been done. Let's let him know the lachrymose guest is gone. The amenable host smiles beatifically. Of course, my staff will be pleased. It's a risk of our trade when our client can no longer separate identity and illusion, but seldom pleasant. He sighs deeply, echoing around the chamber like a newly freed dove. It is a trap any of us could fall into. His face darkens briefly. Here, take this. He fishes around beneath his couch for one of his goblets. It'll fetch a pretty price. Take it with my thanks, and do visit us again. Got some money? Up to 262 now. What a weird number. Why do we have... I guess we got like 7 from failing to get the uncanny specimen, so that makes sense. Let's go back and talk to him again to see what we can do. Okay, so now we have a new thing, a new request. Let's do the conversation now. We didn't do the conversation last time. He speaks of the politics of the Reach, the tedium of it, and his affront that his position requires him to pay any attention at all to it. He speaks of the parties he has hosted, the lives he's healed, and the people he's saved. You begin to suspect he might have an ego. And then your time is up. I hope I haven't bored you, he says with a rare smile. One wishes to be many things in this life, but never dull. Okay, what's the new thing? I admired your discretion earlier, he sighs. You have seen the dangers of our work upon those who abuse our service, yet we are not immune to it ourselves. He draws your attention to several paintings on the walls. My regulars have, at various points, requested that I be a prospector on Lustrum, heir to a fine house in Port Prosper, and a titan of industry on New Winchester. Very specific requests, and more, I have vivid memories of being all three. Yet all cannot be true, surely. He presses a locket into your hand. This bears my image. See if anyone remembers me. I can't remember who I was before this. If I could be other than I am, I'd like to know. So, go to the different ports and do something. Anything, let's speak to an attendant. An attendant in the foyer schedules appointments with the aid of a hefty daybook and a very accurate clock. They are eager to explain the procedures and the rules that govern here. This is a hospital for the spirit. Our staff will become the person you need. Here you may say farewell to a doomed comrade, resurrect an old love, spar with a defeated enemy, all for a fair price. But do not overindulge. Our services are to heal, not to become an addiction. A mourner wanders by, clad in outdated black silk. She is recreating her husband's funeral. She is smiling. That's kind of creepy. Observe guests going in for treatment. A trio of guests is going in together, all dark-haired and straight-back. Yes, I know it's not the real thing, but I'd like a sense of closure, the tall woman says. What rot, barks the short woman next to her. You want to argue over the will again. I have told you once again. Once I am not giving up the spoons, based on a charlatan's say-so. Do be quiet, please, the one man says. I, for one, am more than happy to hear again why I was lumbered with the third best wardrobe. What? Some of these are a little, miss. And we don't need to deal with the other stuff, so I think we are done. Do I want to buy more food, perhaps? We could get some more money. I think we're good. Yeah, let's leave. So, What's this little symbol? This port sells... Okay. Sells fuel and supplies. New Winchester. Maybe it's just because I haven't clicked them before. What else do we need to do? I know there's that battle going on next to us. Let's deal with that in a moment. We need to deliver these people. The cryptozoologist needs to go to Hybris, which is northwest. And the Fastidious Inspector needs to go to Port Prosper, which is northwest. So I think we can just keep on going and go to Port Prosper. Sure. And we definitely need to go to Lustrum, New Winchester, and Port Prosper. Port Prosper seems the place to go. So just to the north of here should send us there, because it's this away. And then apparently Hybris is right there. Maybe we can cover that at the same time. What's going on over here? We got some Tackities fighting with something with a machine gun of some sort. Oh! Ah! What are you doing? You're hitting me! That's just mean. Forget that. Oh my god, don't hit me again. Like, I'm wondering if I could just snipe a kill. I just got hit really badly from doing that. Why'd I do that? You got terrible aim, dude. But now you're wrecking this dude. Now you're on fire. Yeah, nice. The enduring dreadnought is defeated. The massive guns of the dreadnought have finally fallen silent. The hulk hangs in the firmament like a shed spider skin in a web. Okay, raid the hold for cargo or rummage in the kitchens for supplies. Our supplies are kind of low. I'm going to raid the hold, though, and see what we find. A faceted decanter with light and shade playing on the shivered surfaces of the glass. It is 2 rolls of thirsty bombazine. What is that? I don't know. Either way, it's probably a good thing. Should we go for these also? I mean, you're kind of burning already. Not entirely, but I think we could take you. Yeah, okay. There was another one, but he's kind of gone by now. And we definitely want to repair. Nice. Is there another one? I don't want to waste a plot. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Let's just start whacking you. If you want to turn the wrong way, I'm all happy about that. So the Tackities seem lightly armed, but they travel in pairs. There we go. We're down to 1 fuel again. Pillage their stores, but only a 40% chance. I'm going to just search the hold. An intriguingly bulging sack. How pleasantly it rattles. It's just some money. Okay. Alright, let's head north. See if we can find Prosper. We're getting a little full. Like, we might want to go home instead. Like, what do we get from this? More crockery. You know what? Let's go home, and then we'll go from north. We'll go straight northwest from Winchester, rather than trying to cut the cord. It'll help us map the path from. Oh, hello. A bull cantankery. A bigger one? Seems more aggressive. I can't even see it. It's bleeding. And it... I think it was trying to charge at me, but instead charged into the wall. The bull was a king of its kind, an isopod with the dimensions of an elephant, sheathed in layer upon layer of semi-calcified armor plates, all wrapped around the temperament of an embittered badger. Now it is a ruin of muscle and shell. So, get money or otherworldly artifacts. I mean, we just said we're going home, so I guess, sure. You now have an otherworldly artifact. Okay. The thing you pull free from this one is ancient and inexplicable. Perhaps a use will present itself. Either way, let's get back to New Winchester. Cash in and all that. Clear up our hole a bit so that we can so that we can carry some more stuff. Because we got what, 2 things of crockery just from salvage and some munitions and some bolts of fabric. No, we're not stopping at Magdalen's. We have barely been outside. Our terror is only 10%. Yeah, it looks like this doesn't go through anyway. So we're going back the exact same path we came in. Too bad. Apparently I missed this. There's cops on the way in. We were a little panicked because our supplies were getting low. And they're already getting low, but we know where we're going. Let's hug the south wall and see if we can perhaps... Oh, is that a ship? Let's check the ship. Unfortunately, our stats are too bad to actually, you know, pass any of the checks. So it's usually we just take like random stuff. So we can enter through with a yawning tear in our hull and fail because we only have a 1 in 5 chance of succeeding, or we can just restore some health. We'll definitely just restore some health. Good deal. Now we're maxed out. We could try to round this edge and find our way back to Port Avon, and that might give us. Let's just go back to Winchester. We'll eventually explore it all, I'm sure. And as I play more, there'll be less talking. I do have to admit, I've been reading a lot. But as you go, you'll have read all the stories in a place, and until you progress events, it'll mostly be going back and forth and doing specific quests and all that kind of thing. That's my understanding, at least. I've played this game a little bit before I decided to start making this series, just to understand the systems. But, yeah. A lot of it's brand new to me. Oh, I think we got that one on the way in. Yeah. I think that's where we got... I don't remember. I think we just mourned the dead there. There's some more salvage. That's some tea. I think that's tea. Yeah, a caddy of dried tea. It's a little dangerous being only at 1. That makes me nervous. Because there's always like random events that pop up. But come on, game, be kind to me and let me get back to Winchester. We're so close to another level, too. Yeah, only 15 away. Da-da. Ba-da. There we go. A scrubbed clerk begs a moment of my time, representing the banking house. I represent Halliges, the banking house. I promise this will take only a moment of your unquestionably valuable time. He produces a folded contract with a flourish. We hear promising things about you, Reverend. Very promising indeed. We would like to extend our services. We provide a secure solution for the storage of assets. Absolute discretion and steadfastness unto death and beyond. Require only a signature. I am certain this represents the beginning of a long and warm relationship between ourselves and your lineage. May it endure. You may access your bank in any central port in any region. You can access the contents of your bank from any hub port. If my captain dies, my bank is inherited. So, if you're playing on, stricter survival rules, it's safer to keep things stored in here, I suppose. Let's just go ahead and throw it all in right now. Might as well. And anything new in the Bazaar? Literature for Palmyre and Plenty. They want 5 consignments of literature. The Inconceivable Circus lies to the north. Well, we don't have the literature, but, we'll do what we can. We definitely need to get more fuel and more supplies, so that's a given. Anything more in terms of stories? Oh yeah, we have to search for the amenable host's identity. The initial search is fruitless. People giggle at the antiquated fashion on display in the daguerreotype, the tilt of the jaw, the unfortunate arrangement of hair, but the proprietor of the round table seems to recognize the face. Oh yes, right sod he was. She holds the locket up to catch the falling starlight through a window. Wanted to open a factory here a few years back. Something went wrong and there was a workers' revolt. Not been seen since. Nothing definitely conclusive here. We don't need to repair anymore. Can we potentially get any pieces? We could buy another Jerusalem. Increase our cast. So it does 10 damage at the cost of 30 heat. So we could have 2 and they do 20 damage at the cost of 60 heat. So I don't know, I think probably it's not worth it. Instead we should save up for more of these things that gives us access to like butchery or mining. I don't know. Not my problem right now. If I wanted to sell at the market, like the things we got from our bank, so we can get another 100 of crockery, another 180 of munitions. Like the tea is at 90. This is really heavy. This bombazine is quite expensive. 150 each. But we're not desperate for money at the moment. I kind of want to have more money. I'm going to sell the bombazine. Yeah. We'll sell that. Now we have a bit of just, some money to spend on buying new prospects that we encounter. Hopefully. Alright. We can't buy anything else. I think we're good. No more stories. We could get some more crew. I think we're good. Let's leave. Too bad we didn't end up getting anything that gave us experience. So we were going to go to the northwest this time. I wish I could figure out what this little marker is. I mean, I've been in there. I know. I don't know. Ooh, we can see other maps. Eleutheria, the Blue Kingdom. Albion, that's where London is. And the Reach. So there's only the 4? Okay. And that's where Blue Kingdom... No, this is where Blue Kingdom is. What's this? The seat of the Colonial Assembly, which represents the independent settlers. Let's go to that. Is that where you turn in port reports? That might be where you turn in port reports. But that's cool. But yeah, this is where the Blue Kingdom is. But we best not go there. That's where our captain got sigiled or something. The Assembly, a coalition of independent-minded settlers, colloquially called Tacketies, gather and argue here, deliver port reports to receive rewards, and win the Tacketies' favor. And we also went up a level. Let's just deal with that real quick. So we're at 27, 10, 21, 20. I'm thinking let's do a heart and then one of these two. So our options would be a scandal would give us heart and veil. A mentor would give us heart and iron. A lost love is either. An hour in Gethsemane? I don't know how to pronounce that, but what is that? The bishop called it a crisis of faith. Is this like a Bible reference? And if we do this, we'll also get a moment of inspiration. And this will give me a condemned experiment. I mean, I don't like the idea of saying I lost faith because I'm still a reverend. But I kind of want the condemned experiment. Because this comes from Albion, it says. And this one is from, well, Sweet Jane or the Toll Tower. I think Sweet Jane is here in the Reach. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll just wait on that one and choose something else. So my club would give me hearts and veils and reduce nightmares, but I don't have any nightmares, so no. A scandal, a parade of debauchery, absinthe wantonness, more absinthe. No, that's not us. That's not us at all. A mentor. A villainous mentor. Okay. A lost love. Oh, look, this is moments of inspirations also. So we can get moments of inspirations from this, and then we can take the experiment from the other one. Okay, that makes sense. The gradual erosion of that which separates you from someone else. The fitting together of two lives as intricately and intimately as the threads in a tapestry or the cells in your skin. And when one of those lives ends, what remains of the other? You loved, you lost. How badly does it hurt now? Like a gnawing ache, like a hole in the heart. You feel always that something is missing. In the middle of other things, you will look up and around and remember that they will never be there. That's so sad. God. Very sad. Okay. Raised in the wake of the blockade of New Winchester, this magnificence of glass and steel houses the Colonial Assembly. Here, representatives of the independent ports of the Reach gather and quarrel. So, port reports to the indurate veteran will influence the balance of power in the Reach in favor of Tacketies. You know what? We've been killing a lot of Tacketies, so I think maybe we should probably, help them out a little bit. And then we can trade favor for... Oh, this is where we get otherworldly artifacts, too. Who are you? What? You're the Indurate veteran. That's not what they said. It was Sweet Jane or something, right? I don't know. Surrender contraband. Trade favor to affect the balance of power. Well, I'm going to give you my port reports. So now I gained 2 Tactics Gratitude. I gained 200 Sovereigns. And I have hurt the fortunes of the stovepipes. Let's keep these balanced. I don't want to, like, totally ruin this place. Although, you know, I'm in favor of the stovepipes, of course. So this would cost 2. This would also cost 2. Like, I kind of want to have at least 1 of each. So let's go ahead and get that Savage Secret. There. Now we have a Savage Secret. Chat with the Indurate veteran. Her skin is brown, her hair is beginning to gray. She wears a heavy unbuttoned coat. Metals gleam in the shadows beneath its lapels. One half of her face is scarred from frostbite. She is enjoying a quiet cigaretto, while her peers argue in the chamber of assembly. You talk for a while. What is a cigarillo? Cigar something? A type of cigar? I don't know. You talk for a while about life in the skies. When her cigarillo is just a stub, she says, I'd be grateful to hear reports of your travels, Reverend. I suspect all manner of strife and imprudence is going to kick off in the foreseeable. I mean to be ready for it. Okay, well, it's not my problem right now. So we wanted to go northwest. So let's go up like this. Like that, kinda. That a ship? Or is it like a beacon or something? Yeah, it's a beacon. Little lighthouse. No name or anything? What a shame. I wanted some free XP. Long Knuckle Pass. So it looks like this curves up. And there could be a way through here. I don't know. I didn't reveal it. Let's not go there and end up having to come right back. We'll go up this way first. At some point, we'll explore everything, I'm sure. We're too close to New Winchester to bother using our bat. Unless we were specifically, like, seeking out random events. It's out here somewhere. Prosper. Marauders prowl these glades. Okay. Excuse me, excuse me. My voice is fading a little. I'm talking an awful lot the past couple hours. Here we have another beacon, maybe? It's a big light. I'm thinking that's a beacon. Oh, no, that's a ship. And a beacon. So that's the beacon, but this is a ship. Havenwood. It's more Tactics. Well, they're not firing on me yet, but they should. If they knew what was good for them. Oh, it's got quite a bit of health to it. Maybe we're just not getting very good hits. Okay. We don't need to repair, so we just seize its cargo. And it has a barrel of unseasoned hours. Okay. Here, let's send out the bat. There's something out there. Sure, we'll go take a look at it. It's not a port. Otherwise, it would look like a port. It's a question mark. A potential event. The memorial to the unknown rat. One by one, your crew remove their hats. And it's giving us a freedom from terror for a little bit. Just a big rat statue. Okay, sure. Well, good to know where it is. I like all the trees in the background. No, it's getting icy. We have a grave up here. We have a question mark down there. It said northwest. We're kind of going west-northwest. I think we need to go more north. I'm not going to go into this cold area. Let's instead go this way. We got a ship, the Flint, in Lipkinsfield. Okay, so 41% chance of opening it. I'm not going to. I'm thinking that that's going to give us terror or lose a crewman or something. If we fail that, we'll just leave it. And we gain some terror anyway. Sure. And we got attacked. They were lying in wait for someone to investigate. Oh, wrong way, wrong way. Oh, we took a big hit there. I messed up my right and left. Come on, fire. You take forever to fire. I need you to fire so I can dodge and then attack you. Whoa! Okay. We're good. We're good. There we go. Lost a few hits, but that's okay. Raid the safe for sovereigns or explore the captain's cabin. 83% chance of success. And we gained 2 Salon Stewed Gossip. Okay. I would have preferred supplies, but you know. We needed the gossip for Port Avon, right? I think. Another grave. We're at the right angle. Oh, another ship. A glorious dreadnought. Who is apparently not hostile. Thank God. I can't investigate. I need assay. Here. Find me a port. This looks promising. Yeah, here we are. Okay. Do I hear fighting? I think I hear fighting. Maybe something attacks that glorious thing. We'll have to go back out and mess with it. Probably mess with whatever it just killed. Okay, so we have a lot to do here. Crammed at the feet of a hulking crag, Port Prosper is a little London divided into an affluent West End and an impecunious? I don't know how to say that word. East. Queen's Cross is a busy station crowded with engines that have arrived through the nearby transit relay from Albion. So, okay, we're at the entrance to the Albion. First of all, let's check the Bazaar. So, cheap hours. Sure, we'll just buy those. And we can Buy expensive hours, or buy fuel. Let's buy one of each just to be... Well, not yet. Not yet. Let's make sure we have some space. So, explore the port. Its narrow streets huddle in the shadow of a... we already read that. Wealthy West Enders strut by, exchanging polite greetings and veiled gossip, while sooty East End workers file to the hour refining factories. Peeling posters promise fresh, wholesome lives in the reach to new arrivals, but most of the posters are years old. More newcomers arrive at Port Prosper than ever leave it. Right, port report. The factories continue to belch out smoke, while over the bridge, hopeful crowds gather outside the Admiral Nelson. Lovers can be seen strolling arm in arm along the promenade at a respectable distance from their chaperones. There was a brief protest outside the Windward Company factory, swiftly quelled. The scones of the Nelson were as good as ever, though the piquancy of the jam was less than might be desired. Just a random port report. Port report. Search for the amenable host's identity? Sure. Not a soul in Port Prosper recognizes the locket. Who's that then? Does he still wear his hair like that? Fancy. Become familiar refrains. More promising is the house you saw painted in the amenable host's chamber. You locate several candidates, all apparently repainted over the last couple of years, but one is in the exact location as in the host's painting. Nobody seems to remember who owned it or why, but apparently it had once been associated with the Parlor of Virtue, established not long after Port Prosper's foundations. No conclusive evidence. Attend a parade. Sure. Gaudy banners fly over the painted rooftops of Port Prosper. The smog of the East End is hidden away by giant posters displaying dragons in varying degrees of vivisection. The cramped streets are clogged with people. Wealthy West Enders promenade about the amusements, while impoverished East Enders work the stalls and huddle by the chestnut fires for warmth. A painted dragon pursued by knights is chased through the crowds to a chorus of "Ho, the riding!" So, should we mingle with the West or the East? Or with everyone? I am gonna mingle with the West. A lady in a jacket bodice with bone sleeves looks you up and down. What do you think, Mildred? A murmur of assent runs through the crowd of starched and corseted ladies. A gentleman adjusts his mustache. Yes, you'll do. You spend the day with some of the self-described notables of Port Prosper. You eat roast chestnuts, sip glasses of Greyfields, all the way from old London, and even participate in a riding, charging through the narrow streets pursued by several braying fellows in a dragon. I am tolerated by the prosperous West Enders. Roast chestnuts burn on open fires. East Enders stoke the flames and tend to the charcoal burning. And the devils of Carillon claim to be experts in the assessment and improvement of the soul. They would describe mine as sickly, cloying, and unappetizingly crawling. So this is apparently that affected our soul. I haven't looked at our soul in a while. Like, where was that? That was here. Yeah, so we're now curdled. Overly willing to please, envious, obsequious, are those chunks in the soul. And we're gaining westward reputation. Okay. Nothing going on here. We can deliver the Fastidious Inspector, though. She disembarks with her bag in hand and peers up at a clock tower that is being raised above the station. It is tangled with scaffolding and rings with the sound of hammers and the cries of workmen. Accept your payment. The inspector will depart. Be sure you've held any conversation with her that you wish to. I can't talk to her again. I don't think there's a way to. You'll receive fuel and supplies in addition to a sum of money. Ensure you have 6 spaces. We do, exactly 6. So, sure. Thank you, Captain. Here is the balance of our agreement, and as promised, a requisition order for fuel and supplies. She cast another glance at the incomplete clock tower. Given the apparent state of construction, I'd recommend you visit the work site. There may be an opportunity there. And thank you for the pleasant conversation, Captain. The sky can be a lonely place. You've enlivened it. I have included a small additional sum in your remuneration as a token of my gratitude. So 3 fuel, 3 supplies, so we are nicely stocked up now. We gained 150 sovereigns and 60 experience, but we lost the Fastidious Inspector's presence. They plan to call it the Albert Clock, in memory of the departed Prince Consort. But there's a way to go yet. The roof isn't finished, and the clock neither tings nor bongs. Ticks nor bongs. You can see the Fastidious Inspector up among the workings with a spanner and a can of oil, showing the workmen how it's done. Ask the horse foreman what they need. Bronzewood, the foreman wheezes bluntly. 1 consignment. They sell it at Trader's Wood in Palmyre and Plenties, in a gourd of chorister nectar too. This bunch of work-shy ingrates need constant shouting at, and my voice has given up the ghost. I can relate, man. Some nectar should have me bellowing again like a champion. Carillon's your best bet there, or Titania, the flower town. Will pay like. Okay. So we need a bronzewood and a gourd of chorister nectar, and that will let us deliver that. Other stuff, offer transport to settlers, sure. Explorers, adventurers, and pioneers gather here freshly arrived from Albion, all waiting for transport. My friend has been sending me postcards from Port Avon. You've never seen anywhere so quaint. You must take me there. You wipe your hand on your trousers after shaking his disquietingly sweaty hand. This is it, isn't it? Leaving the safety of Port Prosper. Okay, so we need to go to Port Avon. Recruit the incognito princess. Perched atop a mountain of luggage is a radiant young woman. She's an officer dressed in what an actor would wear in a fantastical romance. A tiara rests on her brow. A steady stream of commoners comes to pay homage, bowing and curtsying enthusiastically. Starlings circle in dense swarms above her, refugees from old London, and a common sight, although not in such numbers. She ignores everything and hands you papers so pristine they can only be forged. So this will be a first officer who gives me mirrors, hearts, and Boheme affiliation. But she's going to cost 100. Sure. I am a humble first officer looking for... What's the word when commoners do things for coins? Work, that's it. She beams at you, delighted, as innocent as a Gatling gun. As she steps aboard, a commoner calmly takes a spoon from his pocket and scoops out his eyes. After such radiance, all else is tawdry, he says between screams. It seems she has already forgotten about her signing on money. Oh, did I not actually have to pay? Wait a minute. So I had 663. And I still have it. Okay. Sure. And let's go ahead and get her equipped right there. The Parsimonious Chairman's Offices. The offices of the Windward Company on Port Prosper are elegantly appointed if antiquated. Paintings of old London adorn the walls. The parsimonious chairman has work for ruthless captains. He sits behind his imported mahogany desk, a decanter of brandy at his left hand, and a series of neatly stacked reports on his right. A fire has been lit in the cavernous hearth. It is too warm. He pours the brandy into 2 glasses, then produces a ruler to measure the amounts. To business. He smiles, revealing the extensive damage to his teeth. I was a pugilist back in London, a young man's game. He stands at the window, watching the starlight bathe the sloping streets of Prosper. This place exists because of constant work. From the politicians who planned it, to the pioneers who built it, to the soldiers who even today defend it from the Tackities. We have need of more such work. Bring me nameplates from Tackity engines. We keep lists. You'll be rewarded. Okay. You've been tasked with hunting down tackety engines. Maybe we shouldn't have bothered until we had gotten this quest, but that's fine. What's next? Ask about the Albion Transit Relay. The Albion Transit Relay lies in a cul-de-sac close to the Port Prosper dock. There, locomotives can secure passage to the far-off territories of Albion. Tell me about passage. A garrulous captain is delighted to have an excuse to talk. I'm happy to help, Reverend, happy to help. They point down the docks. There you are. Keep going past the port. You can't miss it. If you've good eyes, you might even be able to see it from here. Passage ain't free, mind. You can travel first class if you have a ministry-stamped permit. Or you can bring a couple of barrels of ours to travel second class. But we don't want to go anywhere yet. The clock tower. Oh, again, this is just where they need our stuff. Okay, so we are ready to go, I think. We checked this. There aren't anything available. We are fully stocked up. We have some hours on us, right? Like that's... Yeah, we got 4 extra hours that we bought here for cheap. And we need to go to Port Avon. I'm running over the cord of my headset. Okay, but we heard some firing back here. Let's see if we can discover a way down to Magdalen's. Like, if we can, like, go like this, that will really... We don't want to have to go back to New Winchester each time we want to go between ports. So, let's go down here and... Well, I bet that just continues like that. I might not go there. Let's go, like, down here and then check here. And see who's fighting. Maybe we can pick off a, and maybe not run into walls and lose hull. That'd be good. Oh, I should talk to people. Here. The driver has no tolerance for uneventful voyages. When not on duty, they stare through the stained glass windows as if willing excitement to ride in on a wave of disaster. When they take the wheel, the rest of the crew grip the nearest available supports and whisper quiet prayers to various gods. We gamble. It would cost 25. I don't want to do it yet. I'm going to wait until we have more money. What about you? From the tiara-crested brow downwards, there is nothing about the incognito princess that is not incandescent. She is like the sun and about as dangerous to anything in the vicinity. Wherever the princess goes, she looks around with a surplus of curiosity and a complete lack of care. I am not a fit confidant because I don't have any sky stories. Too bad. So sky stories and money is what we need to progress those. Where is that golden ship and what is it fighting? It sounds like it's off this way. Oh, no, these are different ships entirely. And that one looks like it's about to get wrecked. Whoa, okay, that's the golden ship. That's the golden ship. Are they going to attack each other? Like, it's going to just kill its friend. I'm tempted to just attack that one. But I think that'd be a bad idea. Repair. Yeah, we need to repair. I mean, it's so tempting just to hit this. Running away, are you? The massive guns have fallen silent. May gain supplies. Raided the lockbox. You may gain unusual cargo. I'm kind of curious what other things we can get. Let's go ahead. We don't have a lot of, we don't really have room for like lots of stuff. A sheaf of papers. Stovepipe nameplates remains unchanged. Okay, so there's another quest. And we just got some money. Boring. 51 money. It's free. I'm not going to complain. We got some experience for it, probably. Hopefully we didn't make an enemy of that gold chip. I think we've gotten that one already. Yeah, I remember this one. Oh, so this is the cold area. We'll try it. Now, we are, you know, moving away from New Winchester. So, difficulty is increasing. Ooh, what's this? That is a horror. Oh, that's not good. And this is something that glisters? Okay, so it's... Okay. A cantankerous. Miners dug too deep in the world at disturbing a disgruntlement of cantankerous. Is that the name for a number of cantankerous? A disgruntlement? Ow. Okay, listen to his last complaint could give us a sky story. Or get money. And we don't have anything else to do. Listen to his last complaint. And we did gain the sky story. Sure. Now we can talk to you, right? Yeah. Thrilled by your tales, the princess invites you to her quarters. I have a secret, she says, removing her tiara before donning a second, more expensive tiara. I am Queen Victoria's daughter, she says. I trust your discretion. It's a considerable ask. This must be the captivating princess, the daughter of Victoria who dwells in a miasma of rumors of excess ranging from red honey to cannibalism. A half-asphyxiated starling has somehow found its way aboard. It flies to her hand. She pets it gently. One is traveling to broaden one's mind before one takes on a new role. It would be a delight to meet with the engineers who keep the eternal ball of perdurance tick-tocking away. Perdurance? Perdurance? Another place. Okay. So she wants something new at Perdurance. Let's try to avoid this horror and to see if it looks like this does curve back down this way. So I'm just going to grab this and hug the wall. Because our terror is going up quickly. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. If you want to come down to me, I'm good with that. But the music's getting a little strained. It doesn't go through. Keep going. Push past it. A star-maddened explorer. Okay. I think we're far enough away from the horror that we're not picking up random terror. Okay, captain's log, very low chance, or just fix up our hull a little bit. It's a shame. Not a very good set of random rewards. Oh, there's another one of those guys. Can we get your attention? Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Maybe we can get you to run into a wall again. I didn't mean it, but I'll take it. So, capture a lesser cantankerry to get a cage catch, but still low chance. Something of value can be found if we had butchery and lots of mirrors. I guess we're just going to go ahead and gain some sovereigns. Just 26 even. Not very much. But it was free, so... Yeah, it looks like this goes straight through to... This isn't even... This is Magdalen's, not Port Avon. But that's okay. We'll work our way there. This doesn't go through. Okay, so maybe if we were to go up this way, it'd go all the way around, but maybe not. I don't know. We haven't finished this guy's quest yet. We haven't been to... I don't remember the name of the third place. But there was a third place we needed to check. Come here. You can't get away. Actually, maybe you can. You're going pretty fast. Yeah, I think you're faster than me. Okay. We got a three-way fight here. I kind of want the cantankerry more than anything else. Are you gone? Are you coming back? You are. Good. Okay. Uh, 69%. Like, we gained some... What did we lose when we... I forget. Our terror is getting up. Sift through the rubble. Let's try to find a specimen. Partial success. And we just gained some sovereigns. Yeah, that's it. We gained 7 sovereigns last time. Oh well. Now, are you going to attack me? You haven't done that much damage to these guys yet. Not that I can tell. Here, let's take out this one. Look, the Oathbreaker. An argument breaks out between 2 crewmen. One owes the other money, but cannot repay it. Unfortunately, the debt was sworn on the name of the Burrower below, a roving god of the deep skies, and a keeper of compacts. The Burrower has a low opinion of Oathbreakers. The crew mutter darkly. They fear this will bring them bad luck. Banish them? Losing a crewman. Punish them both. Ignore the matter. Or take on and pay the Oathbreaker's debt. But I don't have a sky story for it. And apparently the Burrower is a female god. Oh. I kind of worry that punishing them will make the god hate me. And ignore the matter definitely will. I'm going to banish the dude. Sorry. Another crew member lost. Okay. You order him confined to quarters. His remaining friends are sullen. Okay. So we didn't just throw him off the edge. I was worried that that's what would happen. Now back to the battle. Ooh, and there's some stuff down here. Some fuel. I think this guy has the same cannon that I do. It looks kind of the same. One more hit. There we go. We don't even need to repair it all, so just seize the cargo. Hey, that's the bronze wood we need. Good. Now we need nectar. What happened to these other two? Did one of them win? Oh, it wasn't you. And you don't look that damaged yet. I think you might have won. And just there's a corpse out there somewhere. Oh well. Why take damage like that? That's so terrible of me. This is new. The keepsake market. An illicit stall was set near the port. Purchase an otherworldly artifact for 60. While wait time, this will significantly reduce the amount of terror. For 50. Recruit more crew. Did I get an artifact? I don't remember. We got a moment of inspiration. And yeah, we have one. We have an otherworldly artifact already. I could just get a second one. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure how to convert them into money yet. But I think that's probably that seems like the rare thing here. So sure, we got two now. Let's go ahead and treat my terror. We'll actually take advantage of this. The skies are full of terrible wonders. All skyfarers see more than they should when they sail the sunless sky. The sound of soft laughter and the occasional sob echo through the stained glass walls of the treatment chambers. An attendant sits guard before the door. I'll just need to ask for the particulars. We will always alleviate your fears, but the method is at your discretion. Treatments lower your terror equally. So we can spend a gossip. We can spend a secret. We could spend a vision of the heavens. Or an uncanny specimen. We have more vision of the heavens, but we got this really easy. Well, we're going to Port Avon. Sure. Go ahead and request a treatment for ennui, using a vision of the heavens. The attendant holds up a candle before 4 doors of mirrored glass. 4 of our staff are available today. Each has their own specialty. Their names are not yours to know, only their craft. You know yourself best. Who can tend your wounded heart? Whoever you need, you can find behind one of these doors. Someone from my past, a boring person, someone who meant a great deal, and a former crewman. I haven't lost any crewmen, I don't think. Someone from my past. Your old curate waits before his stained glass window. The colored light catches his neat little beard, which is more flecked with gray than you remember. His eyes well with unshed tears as he sees you. My child, have you been keeping to all that I taught you? Yeah, we lost all our terror. Nice. And it was free. Actually, wait. Before we go, do we have any new deals? No new bargains. 8 days. We came here too soon. Let's go around this way and see if we can find a shortcut to Port Avon. Might as well explore when we got plenty of supplies and fuel. I guess we'll stay near this wall a little bit. I was thinking we just head that way. But you don't want to head too far away from... Oh! What's that? A Reach Marauder. Okay, we need to cool it for a little bit. Attacking too quickly. There we go. Raid the safe or seek unusual items. That's where we got the gossip, right? And we're going to Port Avon, so sure. More gossip, please. Failure? Oh. And we picked up an uncanny specimen instead. Okay, you know. The door eventually yields after sufficient bashing with a large hammer. The room is a wreck. The damage is greater than could have been achieved by your guns. The carpets are mauled. The desk oozes. Precious charts have been regurgitated. It seems the captain had a pet. It's in the corner there with the very long shadow indeed. It is unhappy. A change of scene may do it good. I'll take it. You know, it's another supply that we didn't already have. I'd rather have a little bit of everything than a lot of a few things. So, okay, let's turn up here, and we'll go this way. Do a bat thing. Maybe there's a port nearby. Nope, found nothing. Now this would almost certainly lead to it. Let's go down instead and see if that wraps around also. I bet it will. And the map knowledge is, you know, worth a lot. Yeah, this is going to wrap around to it. Okay, good. Trader's Wood. And went up a level too. Okay. So we took Heart and Veil last time, or Mirrors last time. We should take. I'm wondering if I should get my Veils up a little bit. I'm thinking Iron and Mirrors might be good. Iron and Mirrors or Iron and Heart. Iron and something. So what's Iron? None of these give me Iron as a primary. So Interlude in the red and gold. Go away. Why am I getting this tooltip still there? Go away. You lost your mind once. They put you in a splendid hotel managed by a cheery gentleman who would determine when you could leave. How colorful the guests were, how red the curtains, how gold the fittings, how secure the locks. Eventually you were allowed to leave, but was your recovery genuine? And yes, you're feeling much better, or no, you just learned to lie. We are feeling much better. So now we're at 34, 10, 24, 34. So our Mirrors is actually quite high now. We should probably ignore Mirrors for a little bit. I think we need to get some Veils and some Iron. Okay. We do have one of the trophies to deliver. We can do that too. And we have a traveler that needed to come here. Cantankerous way over there. Too bad. We were not facing the right direction. Oh, we can get the devil now. Okay. First of all, let's look at this. So more hours, if we want them. We can't even afford them all. Or we don't have enough room for them all, I mean. I don't know. I'm kind of inclined not to. Let's go to the Nowhere Inn. We could get this guy. Like, I don't remember how much was his bill. Only 50? Sure. As the fuchsia gentleman inflates for a particularly prolonged diatribe. diatribe about ill-mannered captains and their disorderly pets, the Blemmigan climbs to the bar top to consider your face. It likes what it sees. With a sound like a shoe being pulled from a swamp, the Blemmigan finishes its drink. It clambers up your arm until it reaches your shoulder, from where it directs you to the door. It is experienced in surviving the cold of the heavens and the heat of those too cowardly to traverse them. It respects you. It will serve you well. And now we have a new mascot that gives me a little bit of iron and mirrors. Okay. Head upstairs. And let's deliver that trophy. Get some more sovereigns, and some experience. What did you say? I didn't even read. What a horrible creature. A perfect centerpiece. Jenkins, fetch the hoist. Let's get this devil. He's looking for passage. He claims to be useful. He doesn't ask where you're headed. He's a signaler. He increases my iron by 2 and my veils by 6. And he costs 100. He has very little luggage. A single satchel of books and a folded greatcoat appears to be his only personal effects. His manner is calm, almost pedantic, as he negotiates his duties and his pay. But you have a sense that he urgently wants to be out of Port Avon. And we can put you as our signaler. So let's see what our stats are now. 28, 35, 34, 16. We need some veils anyway. You know, that's a benefit. A quiet day in Port Avon. We can get cheap fuel or cheap repairs. Normally fuel is 20 each, so that's like half price. Sure. We have a lot of fuel though now. Well, can't really buy anything more. We could drop off our settler. They have arrived. Whether or not they still wish to be here is another matter entirely. We made good time, so they should reward me. A colonist gives the settler a limp, awkward handshake. I am the founder of our little welcoming committee, and I should like to welcome you to Port Avon. May you find it a happy haven. The settler pauses beside you before disembarking. He goes to speak, but thinks better of it. He pays you and is off. And we gained 150 sovereigns and some good money, some good experience too. Good deal. Okay, let's get that port report, which is the exact same as last time. We'll go ahead and share some exotic gossip, because why not? And our welcome is back up to 3. Let's check out the green. So attend a service at church. We got a vision of the heavens from that last time. This time we got a sky story. Sure. Sit with the eel fishers. We don't have any money. We don't have enough space to store anything else. So if we get something, we won't be able to deal with it. Take a relaxing stroll. Just see if we can get our tear down a little bit. Yeah. Okay, let's just leave. I think we're done here. Let's go back up to New Winchester. We'll go this way and try to, get this little area explored. We're getting quite a crew. We can talk to this dude. Ah, where are you from? What are your tastes? And I have a 100% chance of succeeding. He sits with his back to the door and answers your questions with more questions. It's more than ordinary caginess. He does not trust you. Which is strange, considering how hard he wrangled to be aboard this engine in the first place. Once he asks, rather abruptly, how long your crew have been with you, and whether you took on anyone new at the last port. You cannot tell whether he likes your answer. Perhaps in time he'll come to trust me more. My newly acquired devil is standing most unrepentantly over a body in the hallway. Inspect the deceased. One of your crew, but the deceased is no one you know. a stranger on your locomotive. Peculiar luggage you brought on board, says one of the crew, when some others have gathered. Wouldn't have thought it would fit in your little bag. First, clean up. It won't do to leave the body in the hall. Then your devil can explain himself. He's still got blood on his cuffs. Alright, he looks younger than most devils, but he is significantly older. His gaze is blank and yellow, a wall against speculation. He grooms his sideburns artfully and knows how to be tactful with less seasoned members of the crew. Tell me about the recently departed. He was a stowaway, explains the devil indifferently. He's been stalking me for more than a month. I thought I'd lost him when I came aboard. Then he turned up in my quarters. From the body he has lifted a clinking bag of souls. Perhaps he was sent to bribe me rather than to kill me. He tilts his head to consider the soul collection. Apparently he thinks I'm a cheap hire, if so. The devil's gaze reverts to you. I regret to say, this is probably not the last time this happens. I may be destined to attract negative attention. Look at all that experience. 1,000 experience. That's pretty awesome. So, we have 3 soul flaws. Tell me about my soul. It's not worth much in its present condition, he says plainly. Too flawed. I could cure you of all that if I had time, and if I cared, and if it were not just as easy to take any of a dozen other innocent souls in a better state of repair. If you wanted improved, you might, I suppose, try your luck at Carolyn. A secondment. Listen to the devil's suggestion. He laughs when approached. Oh dear, a little obvious perhaps. His gaze is amused and flickers with intensity. I have an idea that might be beneficial for us both. I'd like to improve the lives of the workers at the Home Office on the Avid Horizon. If you don't mind permitting me a little short leave. He will generate new prospects at the Avid Horizon. I don't know where that is. So, whatever. Ask him about his possible enemies if we had 2 gourds of nectar and 2 caddies of tea, which we don't. We could show him a bee, but I don't have one. We could ask him about Caduceus if I had a report on Caduceus, but I don't. Okay, what about the mushroom? He perches on the back of my chair on the bridge. Is it bored, awestruck, searching? It reaches a tender out and gently bats your arm away. None of that it conveys. It hasn't even turned to face you. So he doesn't really have anything much to say. Okay, let's go to Winchester. Maybe we can get some more Bazaar things. Let's keep on going all the way around this, just till we get it nice and explored. We have the fuel and supplies. Youngsford. Found? Youngsfound? Youngsford? Found. Alright, and we'll just clear out this empty area. Like, finding new areas and exploring them is the best way to get experience, to my understanding. That looks like a thing. But it doesn't seem to have a name. Oh well. Yes, we're getting close to New Winchester. It's playing the New Winchester music. Kissigar Gardens. No, don't. We missed a bit. Let's go and get this. Which I probably don't need to do. I'll probably like end up going back and forth this way several times. Good enough. We have port reports. Let's turn those in first. Oh. Oh, oops. I definitely should have turned them in the other ones. Okay, we'll do that again, because now these are desperate. Okay. Well, which one do we have more of? Otherworldly artifacts or secrets? This isn't any of those things. Possessions. There we go. We have 2 otherworldly artifacts and only 1 savage secret. Let's get another secret. And let's never talk to this woman again. We'll turn it into the stovepipes next time. That should have been 3, right? We got 1 from Prosper. Yeah, should have been 3. Oh well. Mr. Menagerie is passing through New Winchester. That's a new one. Anything else going on here? Let's talk to him. A tattered poster by the station advertises the services of Mr. Menagerie, purveyor of fine scouts. An accompanying picture displays a tall, cloaked figure, slightly stooped, clutching an array of adorable, little beasts to its long chest. To its long chest. Interesting. I mean, it says Mr. Visit Mr. Menagerie. You can buy a scout, but he'll move on after your visit. We have some money. The cloaked figure looks up as you approach. Its garnet-hued eyes gleam from the darkness of its hood. Scouts, it rasps, hopefully, its voice like a cleaver on a whetstone. We trade scouts for things and stories. It leans closer to you. We're leaving soon. So we could buy a bat. Its good range, returns after 1 discovery, and conveys little information about what it finds, and requires mirrors of 25. We have mirrors of 25, I think, but I can't pull it up right now. And that needs a vision of the heavens 2 and 2 savage secrets. And we can buy it, so we can't do the other ones, but let's find out what we need. An intrepid cabby requires mirrors of 50, but it's better. And that needs a searing enigma. And a Ratronaut apparently needs 75 mirrors, which I'm way away from being able to get, but needs a condemned experiment. I have otherworldly artifacts. I don't think I've ever gotten a condemned experiment. That was something I could have gotten, though, on one of my level ups. And we do have a moment of inspiration from one of our level ups also. So this actually seems pretty attainable. This one, I've never seen a Searing Enigma. But for now, we'll just get this one. Mr. Menagerie runs his gloved hand along its shoulder, attempting to encourage the bat to climb on. Mr. Menagerie is forced to perform an undignified shimmy to roll the bat onto its hand. As the bat is passed to you, it looks into your face and squeaks. Its pupils shine like cut tourmaline. You are forced to break your gaze after a moment or two. Its eyes are uncomfortably bright. Mr. Menagerie begins to gather up its things in preparation for the next leg of its journey. Okay, let's remember this. Let's remember what he needs. I can't see him anymore. But it was a searing enigma, and it was condemned experiments. And we used up all of these. But we gained better equipment, right? A star-smitten bat, which is better than our diffident bat. We'll put you in the bank. A note from Mr. Menagerie. Read the note. We go to the Regent Obelisk, which you have made into a gaudy amusement. We should repair. Let's go ahead, fully repair our hull. We're pretty close to being full anyway, but that's okay. Only 6. Okay. Let's check the Bazaar. Seeds for Port Avon. Yeah, I know, I need seeds all over the place, but I'm not finding the things. Literature and seeds are flowers. Titania is to the east of New Winchester. Didn't they say we could get seeds at Titania? So you need your own seeds? That might be really easy. Okay. Bank. Let's start putting some stuff away. We don't need all this fuel. Oh, this one there. That we can get rid of. The bronzewood, all the hours. And we'll buy one more supply. Okay, so now we have 920 to burn. Can we... actually, before we do that, let's see if we can get some more crew. I'll hire a few crew. 40 for 2 crew. Sure. That's cheap. Our terror is completely gone. Let's see. We can't buy a better engine yet. That would cost more than we've got. But we can perhaps buy some parts. So we have 4 slots available: an auxiliary, a bridge, a plating, and another armament. These are the same, right? Yeah, they're both armament slots. So we can get a mining thing if we wanted. We could get quarters in our bridge slot, but we don't need more crew. We haven't lost any crew except for the one dude that owed a debt. This would be a way to get supplies from the cantankery things. Better, more HP. More hold. Would use up an auxiliary slot though. Might just want to go for a better weapon. Like, one we have now is 10 damage for 30 heat, and this is 15 for 25. That seems like so much better. Or what else do we got? So this will be more quarters. More quarters. These require veils. This requires mirrors. This is both butchery and more hold. Ooh. That seems really good. Okay, so we're going to plan to go into that. It's expensive. So that's going to be our auxiliary slot. So let's save that. A lot more hold. 8 hold. A mine. And a better engine. More fuel efficiency. Or faster, I guess. I mean, I want Unfortunately, this takes up the same slot as what I want to eventually have for this. I mean, I only have 8080. I don't want to spend all my money on it. It's tempting to get either the shielding or the better weapon. I think that's the only thing, or potentially a miner, but I'm thinking I'm going to go with the better weapon. So we'll just put that right there. And we'll put this in our bank. And off we go. Let's go east to Titania. Right? That's where it said? Yeah, just straight to the east. Because if we can just buy something at normal price and then sell it immediately to them for the prospect, why not? Just free money. Hopefully we can find it without using up our supplies. I guess I could have mounted my old gun too and then had a more powerful volley, even if it was less heat efficient, damage per heat efficient. Whatever. Trapistos, hurry. I just want to go straight east, and then we'll use the bat, the new bat, which will tell me more details about things or more things or something. Just looks like a lot of wreckage here. I can't even tell from the overhead view like this. Maybe it's supposed to be like a factory or something with like trees on top of it. I don't know. I'm not doing very good at going straight east, am I? Here, use your thing. Show me the way, bat. It found something back behind me. Okay, let's go through here, and then we'll go right and down. I hear some firing. Macklin's Thrift. Let's see who's fighting. Don't attack me. Oh, I didn't even see that it fired. Okay, so it took 6 hits or 5 hits? I'm not sure. Some number of hits. Just seize the cargo. We haven't lost that much health. Another bronzewood. Okay. Oh, I think that guy might be wrecked. Yeah. Okay. Do I go after you? I think so. Why not? You're not as damaged as the other one, but that's okay. Search the hold. Just some money. You're harder to dodge because you have that volley, but that's okay. And we get... I might gain an unlicensed chart. That's something new. Sure. Instead I gained a ministry stamped permit. That's kind of disappointing. Okay. Here. Bat. Find me something. Oh, there is a port here. But that's nowhere. That's north. That's not east at all. But let's check it out while we're here. We kind of wandered off course because there was like an island right in the way. Maybe we can buy another supply. Or, you know, find a deal. That'd be good too. But this is almost certainly not Titania. Nope. No, you can't get away. Oh. They come in pairs. Okay, one down. Another barrel of ours. We're just not getting our aim today. Come on, one more hit. There we go. And let's go ahead and get our hole filled up. I feel more comfortable a full hole. Ah, we're at Palmyre's. I considered running away with them, but some refused to bathe. Palmyre and Plenty's Circus. A traveling circus has settled here, too afraid to go further and too afraid to turn back. Its clanking, gaudy locomotive scavenges such audiences as it can from nearby homesteads and delivers them for an evening of shabby, desperate, big-top magic. So recruit the amiable vagabond. Mr. Menagerie is passing through, but that's not going to help me because I don't have anything new since last time. Let's check out the Bazaar. Now, you want the literature, and you're offering munitions. I'll buy the munitions for cheap. But I don't have literature for you. Sorry. You sell bronze wood and supplies. I'll take a single supply. But I have the bronze wood I need. The amiable vagabond. He needs a sky story, or two sky stories. We don't have one. He claims to be an expert in snake wrangling, thimble twisting, and stick swinging. He professes to be a psychologist, mythologist, and escapologist. He boasts he can tell stories that'll haunt you until you die, and play tunes that'll make stones dance. If all that fails to entice you, he supposes he could turn his hand to signaling. Now, we already have a signaler, right? That's what our devil is, yeah. So eventually we'll get him, but we don't have the things for it right now. The circus, the greatest show, that's what the adverts promise. The reality is not impressive. Aside from the big top that dominates the circus, the place is shabby, poorly maintained, even more poorly attended. Bored-looking circus folk run rotting booths. The clowns' painted-on smiles are no match for the deep-set misery behind the grease paint. Even the Cyclopean music, playing on a rundown piano, is more grimly resolute than cheery. So, first of all, get a port report. The big top looms dramatically in the fog of the Reach, but it's not nearly as imposing as the massive obelisk floating nearby. Some enterprising soul has hung bunting between it and the big top. As for the circus itself, outside of the performers, it is practically deserted. You may be the first new face in the audience in quite a while. Try to sneak behind the tents, recruit crew. We don't really need more crew, and we would have a bad chance of doing it anyway. Let's get some tickets. We now have 5 tickets for 10 sovereigns. We can't get more. Enter the big top, which requires 2 tickets. No one in the meager audience displays any enthusiasm, not even when the ringmaster thunders in on a horse-drawn Calliope. Then come the acts themselves. Oh dear. The humiliated magician's trapdoors fail to open, leaving his glamorous assistant notably unvanished. The bereaved acrobat swings from a single trapeze, the other hangs lonely and unused. The pensive clown's fire-juggling act ends in disaster, and not the humorous kind. The less said about the lion tamer, the better. You should recover. We gained a story, we lost some terror, and we spent some tickets. We don't really need to visit the amusements. We don't have any terror. So, try to sneak behind the tents. Guests are not allowed back here. A pair of clowns whose painted-on smiles do not match their actual scowls spot you almost immediately. There's nothing funny about the heavy sticks they carry. You are less than politely escorted back to the big top. Perhaps if you were better known around here, they'd be less concerned. Speak to the ringmaster. Needs a familiar face of the circus. So basically, we need to come back several times before we can progress. Too bad. We'll come back. We can't get you either. Oh, can we? We have Sky Stories now? Yes. Okay. He couldn't care less for your sovereigns. He wants to swap stories. When you accept him aboard, he pulls a grimy bottle of something opaque and unidentifiable from his inner coat pocket and takes a long celebratory swig. I hope you're not having second thoughts already, he says, and roars with laughter. He has no luggage to speak of, just the bindle over his shoulder and a fiddle in a battered leather case. Once he has slung both onto his bed, he heads to the galley and starts performing card tricks and telling ribald jokes to the crew. Most find him charming. Several make their apologies and abscond. Okay, let's take a look at him. So he would give me hearts and veils, and you're giving me iron and veils. You know, our veils is so low that it almost doesn't matter. Two hearts is probably better than, well, 4 hearts is better than 2 iron. Unless this needed veils. Did this need veils? No, that needed mirrors. And that was also mirrors. So I think we're good. Yeah, okay. Okay, I think it's 3 hours into this video, so I think I'm going to take a break. Let me know if this is at all entertaining. I mean, I feel like I'm just reading a lot. I'm basically reading a book to you guys. And I'm enjoying it because I find the writing quite, you know, it's well done. It's very well written. And the stories it's telling are very imaginative. But I don't know how... It's not very action-packed. So let me know. Let me know if you like this. Let me know if it's something I should continue. Thank you for watching. Until next time.